Okay, so Sandee, you publicly committed to taking 100 listings in roughly 10 months. Most agents will be afraid to even say that out loud because you can't quietly lower the target. But let me ask you this. When you accepted the challenge, did you believe that you could do it? Or did you say yes before your confidence actually caught up with your commitment?
Well, I actually said yes to the challenge before I knew what the challenge was. So I kind of had already made the commitment before I knew what it was. But, I'm going to say the answer to that is mixed. Like, I knew I was really good at taking listings, but I also took the challenge because I was like, there's always learning. Like, we can always do better. So without taking such a massive challenge in public, I thought, what an accountability moment. Like, way to have to step up and actually figure this thing out, because it's not just me quietly setting that goal, but it's me kind of stepping forward and saying, okay, I think we can do this and let's do it together. So I'll say it's a little of both. I was confident until I wasn't.
Well, was there ever a point when you thought, I may have just made a very public mistake?
Oh my gosh. So I got home from this event and I said to him, guess what I did? And what'd you do? I'm always doing something. And I made a $10,000 bet. And he's like, for what? And I was like, well, I'm going to list 100 homes in 10 months. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like, what are you going to do? I said, no, I'm going to do this. So I was super confident, got really excited. We talked about it. And then the next day I sat at my desk and I cried, like sobbed.
What?
Because I think the reality, like the excitement wore off. Like I wasn't in the event.
What did I just do?
And I sat down and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Let's just put it there.
I'll say it's more than a little.
Like, it's almost unfathomable, really. And I committed to this and I thought I was really running a tight business. And the first couple weeks were probably the hardest. Not so much hardest to get the listings, but the reality check of my business or my hobby, my systems, like just all the fundamentals. Ooh, that's a kick in the pants when you really have to sit down with such a challenge that you are committing to accomplish. You have to take a hard look at not only your business, yourself, your habits.
Yeah. I mean, you can want all the business in the world. And even if the business starts coming in, if you're not ready for it, you're losing business faster than you're gaining it. And it can cause you to pull all your hair out. Welcome back to the Leverage Lounge. I'm Mike Collier. Today's guest accepted a challenge most real estate agents would never say out loud. Take 100 listings in 10 months. And then she did it. Sandee Payne is a real estate leader, a coach, speaker, author, and the founder of Designed to Sell. But today, I want to understand more than just the numbers. I want to know what that goal demanded, what it cost her, and who she had to become in order to complete the goal. So Sandee, welcome to the Leverage Lounge.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you are here. Now let's go back to the moment where you said yes. Like, why did you accept the challenge? And how did you end up being the one who accepted the challenge? Did you just get called out or what?
I was actually on stage. I was on a panel at this large event, about 8,000 people. And
this is a panel about listings?
Yeah, listing attraction.
Okay.
So not necessarily how to win the listing appointment, but like how do you attract the listing opportunities in the first place?
Okay.
And we talk about brand and farming, just a lot of the fundamental like pillars. And it was like a 20-minute panel. And then at the end of the conversation, me and another girl were sitting there. It was Tom Ferry. So we were at a Tom Ferry Summit event. So I'm on big stage, 8,000 people. And Tom turned to me and he said, want to make a bet? And I shot my hand right out. I mean, he's a big bet maker. Like if you've ever been, he'll make people like motivational bets.
I'm doing Tom Ferry coaching now, actually.
Yeah. So not often from stage. Sometimes it's like just an audience member who asked a question or whatever. And so I kind of was trained like, when he says, make a bet, you just say yes. I shot out my hand and I'm holding his hand. He's like, you don't even know what it is. I'm like, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. Like whatever it is, I'm going to do it. And here's the reason why. And this is like the mental moment I had. One, I earned my way. I worked my way to be on that stage in the first place, to have the opportunity to talk about what I talked about.
Yeah.
It wasn't just by accident that I was up there to share to such a large audience. I knew that he knew that I had what it took to accomplish it. Because one of the things I can tell you is I don't think he makes bets really against people. It may feel like it's against you, but it's
challenging you to be your best self.
Challenge you to show up in a different way. So I knew whatever it was, there was going to be so much greatness for me and my business behind it. Like, I didn't even care what it was. It could have been make 10,000 calls this week. Like, I don't care what it was. Like, I knew whatever it was. The underlining reason was that he cared enough to say, like, I'm going to show you you're made for more. I'm going to show you you can do more than you're letting yourself know you can do. And so it was a $10,000 bet to list 100 homes in 10 months. And I took the bet. And I won. I listed 103. Actually, the next year I got to stand on stage and I took the big check, $10,000 check. It was a big to-do. And I listed 103 houses in 10 months.
103 houses in 10 frigging months.
Yeah.
Now, what was your first immediate reaction? Because you said you were like, I'll do it. I'll do it. You didn't even know what it was. And then when he finally said it, was it excitement? Was it fear? Yeah. Was it disbelief? Like, what the heck did I just do? Or like maybe a combination of all three?
I think it was all three because I was like, you just didn't know what he was going to say. Usually the bets are a little bit stretchy. You know what I mean? They're a little bit hard to attain. And first I was excited. I'm like, heck yeah, I knew that. Game on, like challenge accepted. And then part of it was like, you want me to do what? I'm sorry, you want me to do what? So there was a lot of mixed emotion, but I think when it all settled, I was so pumped. I was so pumped to do it. I had to believe that I could do it.
You had to dig down deep.
Yeah.
You know, there's a major difference between setting a private goal and making a public commitment. A private goal can disappear without anyone knowing. A public goal creates pressure. How much did knowing that other people were watching affect how you approached it?
Yeah, I actually loved it because I don't even think it was like performance pressure, like to perform. It was pressure to, I don't want to say prove. I don't like the word prove, but pressure to prove.
Show up.
To show other agents who are struggling or doubting themselves or whatever was inside of them, is to show them that if we show up with clear intention and we design our day and we design our life to everything towards that goal, it is possible. No matter if it's, you want to take 5 listings this year because you haven't. It doesn't matter what the goal is. We'll lose 50 pounds. Like, it doesn't matter. It's setting the goal, reverse engineering it, and then doing the things that you need to do. It's the execution.
Were you ever afraid of failing publicly?
Yeah, I mean, I was, but I also thought, okay, what if I only do 60? Like, is that really failing?
It's game changing for your business, I'm sure.
Game changing. Yeah, I think it's game changing. There were moments, to be honest, of like, what a WTF? Like, what have I done?
Yeah.
10 months is a long time. Like, it's not a 75 hard. Like, it's not a 30-day. Like, 10 months. Like, that's
a marathon.
Time to be committed to something. So there were moments of, oh my God, am I going to do this? And then I'd be like, buckle up. Like, you made a commitment to yourself and thousands of people who are teetering their mindset on whether it's even possible.
Yeah. At the beginning, what was the largest gap between the business you had and the business required to take 100 listings? How many listings were you typically carrying on average prior to this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was probably running 40 to 50 listings year over year for a few years at that point. Yeah.
Okay. So this was truly a double my business moment.
Yeah, it was a double my business moment. The other like weird caveat that most people don't know about the challenge is at the time I had a team, had about 5 agents, had a couple admin VAs, sorry, I have a cat and he's going to get personal.
I see.
Like, if you have a cat, you get me.
Completely get it. I don't even have a cat.
Only when you're on camera. It's like they just,
Oh yeah.
I had a team, I had agents, I had assistants and VAs, and in true honesty, I said to myself, okay, I don't want to rely on any of that because in a year's time, my agents could leave. I could fire somebody.
Yeah.
Then what happens to the metrics? To me, I thought, I'm not going to just list 100 houses. I'm going to raise the bar on the challenge. I'm going to do it by myself. Every transaction, every email, every phone call, every single thing I am going to do myself.
So what's the big change that had to happen? Like, are we talking lead generation, systems, obviously confidence, but you have time management, there's follow-up, there's capacity. How did you do this?
Yeah, so many things. Two kind of pieces of it. One, I had to really look at my business. Did I have the foundational structure to be able to carry that much business and though that many moving parts and communication and coordination? Did I have systems in place? Do I have checklists? When you get a new listing, these are the things you do. Because here's what happens with a lot of people, Mike. You're fine with one or two clients at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Get your utmost attention.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you're carrying 10 to 15 escrows at one time solo, who suffers, right? Your client suffers because you get busy,
Absolutely.
forget about them, you miss steps, you could miss all kinds of things. So I had to really look at my foundations of my SOPs, my checklists. Even if it's a paper checklist that you have stapled in a folder and you just make sure everybody gets the same experience, right? When it all lives in your head, that's impossible to carry the capacity and scale. It's not even leverage. It's just having the foundation to scale.
Yeah.
Leverage is automating. Leverage is people. Leverage is those extra things.
AI tools. Yeah.
Yeah. I even want to say, like, I was just in the moment, how can I build something that I can scale? But it wasn't just the business. It was my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
How was I showing up? I was 60 pounds overweight. If you saw pictures of me when I took the challenge and now you'd be like, it's not even the same person. No, because I also had to physically, mentally transform. Like I couldn't be eating junk on the run in my car, running through drive-thrus.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop working out for my oxygen in my brain. Like there was just so many, I couldn't be drinking wine every night.
Yeah.
Watch TV, binging TV. I had to focus on sleep. I had to focus on energy. Containment of energy, sustainment of energy, diet, exercise, who I hung out with, what I consumed physically, and
what you're watching, what you're listening to, the people you're around.
Yeah. I mean, you get one negative Nelly that's feeding you excuses. They say like you are who you are around.
Right.
Or you can become who you go be around.
Yeah.
We can shift that very, very quickly. And so not only was I building these foundations of my business to scale, I was also building myself to be the person who, one, is believable. Like, no offense to anybody, but like if I stood on stages and talked about this and was very unhealthy and overweight and it was obvious, you know what I mean? Like there's a belief factor, like the high performance habits framework is crucial to being able just to hold that capacity of that.
Have you read the book 6 Dimes and a Nickel by Damon West?
Mm-mm.
You should check that out. He's the guy who came up with the coffee bean.
Okay.
Are you familiar about Be the Coffee Bean?
Yeah.
And when placed in boiled water, you have a carrot, you have an egg, and then you have the coffee bean. Well, the carrot gets soft in boiled water. The egg, it starts off soft but hardens, right? But the coffee bean is the only thing that actually changes its environment. The coffee bean actually becomes stronger. It changes the environment that it's in when it's surrounded by these external pressures. And so that's what it sounds like to me. Is like that you became the coffee bean. You started to understand that like my external forces, I'm going to have to affect the change around me and create the environment that I need to have. And so before we go deeper into the challenge, I want to understand the woman behind it. Because before the listings, coaching, speaking, recognition, who was Sandee Payne? I mean, you already mentioned that you were raised in Jersey. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So born and raised in South Jersey. There's a difference, just not Jersey, South Jersey.
South Jersey.
So
Stand up.
Little tenacity that comes with being a Southern Jersey girl. Middle child. So I have not only Jersey, I have middle child syndrome that now affects my personality. So those of us who know what it means.
Can I also tell you, I'm a middle child as well. So
that's why we're
with
connected.
You there.
It's a vibe. I actually grew up as a professional ballerina.
A professional ballerina?
Yeah. At the age of 9, I started dancing with the first professional ballet company. Yeah. That my whole life. Spent hours and hours every day from the time I was 9, just studying, discipline, training, all the things. And I did that till I was 18 years old.
From 9 to 18.
Yeah. So I lived kind of a performance, have to show up, if I'm going to
Right.
grow up and scale, have to just keep perfecting my craft type of lifestyle that's all I knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how did you end up 60 pounds overweight? You mentioned that. Was that just a phase or was that what happened there?
Oh, that was just life, marriage,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just kind of like went through life, went to college, did all the things. And one of the disciplines that like I wasn't just going to go to college, I was going to get straight A's. And then I just always had this, I'm just not going to do something halfway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was instilled in me from when I was little. I started dancing when I was 5. Just that habit, that formidable habit. Just anything I ever did in life, I just said, I'm not going to just halfway through it. I'm going to be the best at it. And not only am I going to be the best at it, I'm going to show other people that they're capable of doing it too.
Boom.
I always led, I always taught. Even when I was a professional dancer, I taught dance classes to younger people and more novice people. When I was in college, I didn't just teach other people, but I'd be the one holding the study groups for our own class. Because if you
Yeah.
share and teach with other people, you become a more masterful craft.
That's
Right?
so true. You become a better leader by choosing to lead.
You know your content better, you know your skill better. And so I did. I went through college with straight A's all the way through because I just tapped into those natural gifts. I'm like, how can I
Yeah.
be better at it? Teach somebody it.
Well, then you later became part of a military family, right? Like,
Yeah.
what did military life teach you about change, uncertainty, and even starting over?
I love that. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah, I knew my husband in high school. We didn't date in high school, different high schools. We just were in the same area. But yeah, after I graduated college, I wound up getting married to a military man who's lovely. And we lived 23 years of a military life. So moving every couple years, we've lived overseas, we've traveled the world. But again, I think it's the same thing when we're faced with a new environment or a new opportunity. What do we do in that opportunity? Do we become the carrot?
Yeah, right.
Do we become the egg? Or I love the analogy, like, do we change the environment? Do we choose the environment? Do we make the best of where we are? Do we get out and explore? There were families that lived in Germany with us that never left Germany. Now, I don't know if you've ever been overseas, but in like 2 hours, you can be in France.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's like going state to state here in America. You just go from country to country there. Yeah.
And again, it was like, okay, we're only going to be here a short time. We're going to make the best of it. We're not going to live out of boxes because we're living a temporary moment. We're going to make our home feel like it's been lived in. We're going to act like we live here. We're going to embed ourselves and get involved like we live here and like we're not going anywhere. And then when life moved us, we just would up and do the same. And that wasn't me. And I carried that on to my kids and my husband. He deployed many, many times overseas. I spent many of my military life years as a single mother and a single person in the context of it. So I had to learn. I can't just sit here and whine, my husband's not with me and we can't do anything. But I had to find that strength and create that life, not only for myself to be joyous and happy, but also for my kids to be able to up and move. Because it's one thing to ask of it of me, but like to bring our kids into that lifestyle, we have a big responsibility to affect the people around us and help them choose life.
Would you say that resilience was natural for you, or was it something that life kind of forced you to develop?
I would say it more helped life developed because at 18, I wound up pregnant. I had a major life shift. Everything I knew.
Would you have kept dancing had you not gotten pregnant?
Oh, I had a 4-year full ride scholarship to a performance university. And
wow. Yeah.
It's a personal story. I don't share it very often, but I think
it's important.
Relate to it because it is important. We all have something.
Absolutely.
Changes our trajectory. It's all I am now. To even moments of who are you going to be now? Like it was an identity crisis. All that time, now what? It was just this now what? And I was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, 13 years of your life has been dedicated to this craft and perfecting it and getting into the school that you wanted to get into and the scholarship and that. And now we're changing.
In the blink of a sentence, my life changed. Yeah. So I think part of me is like, okay, I'm going to be the best that I can. I'm going to be the best mom that I can. I'm going to raise a child in a beautiful environment. And I'm, I think it's having that prove. I did feel for a while that I had to prove myself to other people.
Like, this isn't the end of me.
Yeah, I'll show
Yeah.
you. I can do better. I can be better. I can be the best. I can do whatever I want. I'll show you. And I lived in this proof moment for a really long time, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, if I can say literally, probably until just a few years recent.
I was just going to ask you, when did you feel that it stopped, where you started living for you versus living to prove?
I would say probably about 3 years ago, probably about a year after that challenge completion of 100 listings. Because I think it was, I'll show you, I'll prove to other people it can be done. I'll prove to myself it can be done. Like, I still lived in that proof moment for a long time.
Not even I'll prove that it can be done, but I'll prove that I can do something that most people wouldn't even dare to dream about.
Yeah. And it's fared me incredibly well. It fared me incredibly well in my life for a long time. That mentality got me through some of my hardest times of my life.
Yeah.
Husband at war, other friends, losing spouses in the same unit, in the same fight, them not coming home and my husband dead. Like, always living with that, like, are we next?
Yeah.
Moment.
And him dealing with survivor's guilt, I'm sure.
All of that. But being able to pick up and be like, no, we've been through stuff. We've had life shift. We shift all the time. We are in charge of how we operate. Grief, do all the things.
Yeah.
Don't live in them. Emotion's real, but then we get to make an amazing choice, breath by breath, like
That's
how
right.
we choose to take the next one. And after that challenge, obviously, it opened up a lot of opportunity for me to speak on it and to speak into others about the experience. And the more I talk to people and dig in and share my real emotional stories and a lot of that stuff, it is incredible the number of people who have dealt with things and don't believe they can overcome it. But just showing them not just the business, but the life that you can actually choose made me realize, like, I am not proving, I am just improving every day. There's nothing to prove to anyone.
That's good.
Myself, that I give myself the permission to just keep improving.
That's good. That's good. You know, by the grace of God, He allows us to go through these challenges, these changes in life. And if you're blessed enough to survive through it, and see yourself out on the other side, you can help someone else in their place of darkness. I always say that your story is not for you. That lived story, this lived experience that we're having, these challenges that we're facing, many times that we haven't even said out loud to certain people, when we finally start finding the strength in and of ourselves and our faith and start understanding that you went through it, not for it to be a censored moment of your life where you're like, I don't talk about that, right? There are times when you get to the point in your life where you can talk about it. You'll find that you're actually freeing yourself while also freeing others. By having the conversation.
That's so true. And, you know, I mean, there was the big time, and it's very prevalent in real estate agents. We chase titles, we chase trophies, we chase.
Very egocentric.
Right? Yeah. Like, your shirt. Exactly. Like, I was that person. I was rookie of the year. I was top producer, blah, 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 blah. Like, I did all the things. I got those crowns here on earth.
Yeah.
Do I still earn the things? Yes.
Of course. Like, you're hardwired that way.
From product of my work. But what I really, really love that I get to do is help share my story and help other people change their lives.
Now, before real estate became the center of your professional identity, you had a significant background in interior design?
Yeah.
Right? Like, where did your love for design begin?
Birth. My mother will tell you stories from the time I could pick out my own clothes. They had to match. They had to coordinate, like, everything always. I'd be moving furniture around. I would be the one, I'd be the one doing all the design stuff. Very creative. My father was a architect and my mother was a seamstress. He was a craftsman architect. So I grew up in a very creative household. I didn't know we were creative because we couldn't afford a lot of things. You know, my parents did a great job making it fun.
Which necessitated even more creativity.
And the creativity stuck. It was just a natural thing for me. I love design. And as I got to move around, which is like super cool because I got to move around and like decorate houses every couple of years.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And then that just started like, as you move, people are like, oh my gosh, your house looks like you've lived here forever. You literally moved in a week ago. I mean, I would paint walls, like you name it. I knew how to spray starch fabric to make, like, I had my house and I'd start helping other people. Can you help me with my house? Can you help me with my house? And I was like, oh, maybe this could be like a thing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, I can do it. And they're like, I'll even pay you. And I'm like, maybe this can be a thing, right? Like,
I
this
like
isn't
this thing.
like, let's drink a bottle of wine and decorate your house anymore. Like, this could be a job. And so, yeah, that just developed over years. When we finally got back stateside, we were in Newport, Rhode Island, and I actually wound up taking a job at an interior design studio because I'm like, okay, having the gift is one thing, but having the business sense, like behind it, like that's a whole nother thing. I went and I worked for someone and was able to learn inventory and customization and all the things behind the business side of having interior design. Then we moved to Texas about a year later, and my husband had to deploy 2 weeks after we got here. And so I knew starting a new company was probably not in the forte at the moment because I had kids to deal with on my own now, that he was going to be gone again. And so I actually went and worked for a home builder, which has kind of tickled me into real estate. So I didn't have a license. You know, I sat in the model home to help people design, right? It was all the things.
Yeah.
But then I realized, one, in my community, like there was nobody who lived here who helped people decorate their houses after they moved in. So I was like, okay, business opportunity. And then I would sell people houses. Then they'd want me to help them sell the house. And I'm like, wow, my real estate license. So I wound up just doing a lot for real estate agents and staging and pre-listing consults, working for a lot of custom home builders and design studios and stuff like that. And then when my husband decided it was time to retire, my real estate license was the first thing I went and got.
But what did working with builders teach you that traditional real estate agents may like never learn?
You know, it's different on the other side of the table. When you're on the other side of the table than on the side of the table with your clients, it's very different. I mean, just some tips and tricks. Don't finance the upgraded chandelier. You know, don't put that in your package. Take the cheap one.
You don't have to take all of the options that they're.
Take the ones that are like really expensive to change later down the line. Yeah, and I think just the sales. You know, I mean, there was just a lot of sales skills too, and communication and nurturing, and
buyer psychology.
And it really helped me find my niche. Like a lot of agents, like they're just trying to be something for everyone, and you can't be everyone's agent. And I knew listings were my jam. I knew I could be the listing agent. I never went into real estate ever planning to just help people buy houses. Like that wasn't like where my energy went.
Yeah. Listings
are leverage. I mean, I wanted my sign in the yard. No one's going to know that I helped buy the house. My face isn't in the yard.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that recognition. I wanted my face in the yard, my brand on everything. And I knew the only way to get that was listings. And then I had the design niche. So I was really good at helping people stage, helping people. I mean, this was like way before AI or any of virtual anything, where I'd spend hours in their house helping them declutter and stuff like that. And then it even helps with buyers because sometimes people get hung up on a paint color or a cabinet, or I'm like, whoa. Let's talk this through, what this can actually be.
Yeah.
I knew that if I just stuck with what I know well and what brings me joy, and those are my clients, then I knew my message would just fall on the right people.
Going back to the interior design and just having that eye for design and like say staging, many sellers believe that staging means decorating a home beautifully. But staging is not necessarily about making the seller love the house. It's about helping the buyer emotionally connect with it.
Yeah.
What would you say is the difference between decorating a home and preparing one to sell?
Yeah. I mean, they're almost opposite. I kind of say like, it's like trading in a car. If you want to trade in your car, and you don't just drive it to the dealer with the Whataburger wrappers and the dusty vents, and you may like it that setup for you, but we're trying to appeal to everyone. So what do? We get out the Q-tips and we're in the vents and we're picking up the trash. Like we need to present it so that it works for everyone. And it doesn't say, oh my gosh, this was Mike's car.
Right.
I can tell by the XYZ that Mike lived here or this type of person lives here, because then I could say, well, I'm not like Mike, so therefore I wouldn't like this car.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we do that in our homes with our style, our photo, just how we maybe we don't care, and we've got Cowboys blankets on the couch. I'm not picking on Cowboys, but I'm just saying.
No, I know what you're saying. I had a seller who had a whole Pittsburgh Steelers room, and I was like, "So what are we gonna do with this?" He's like, "Oh, we're not touching it."
And I'm like, I mean, leave it, but not so much, right? So yeah, I mean, think of like a model home. It's kind of the same psychology. I mean, I'm not in $1 million. I'm not in a high-end price point. Like our average house here is $280, $320. You know, like we're not talking luxury homes with endless budgets. We're talking military families who left on their mama's couch, house to house to house, right? Like we're not talking beautiful necessarily. I mean, of course, there are people who have great eye and can afford that, but we're just talking your average Joe.
Exactly.
You know, who have a mix match of whatever because they're moving again, and that dresser might have to be part of the dining room next time. You know what I mean? So they're more living, not worrying about designing. But again, we can take steps to depersonalize some preferences or intensities and dial them back to be a little bit more for everyone, because we don't want people to get lost in figuring out who Mike is. Because you have awards and plaques and pictures. Oh, it's got kids. I wonder if another kid. And
I've been in homes like that.
They're creating stories around the seller instead of creating the story around.
I went in a home and I could tell both of the sellers were doctors. They had every plaque and certificate and degree known to man all on this wall. And it was just like, it was a lot. I'm not talking like 4 or 5 frames. I'm talking like the wall was plastered in their achievements and accomplishments. And sure enough, my buyers kind of got lost in, oh my gosh, like look at all this. They weren't even thinking about the house anymore. They were thinking about the sellers.
Right. And now, and then my real estate brain goes, okay, they're both doctors. They have money. They can afford to do the fix-ups. They can afford concessions to the table.
That's a great point.
Military family. They must be moving. I'm sure they have to leave. They're not going to want to mortgage on a house that's
it's not gonna hurt for them to kick in some money towards my closing costs.
Okay, so it's not staging to the next level. Isn't just appearance. It's motivation and strategy too.
So, can staging overcome poor pricing?
That's a big question. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna say yes to that.
Okay, I didn't expect you to say yes, so please.
Because again, appearance has everything. My little tagline is the details are in the dollars, or the dollars are in the details. And if you were to, for example, go to a listing appointment with a roll of blue tape, like you do on a new construction walkthrough.
Yeah.
How many times we go to a new construction walkthrough, we're putting tape everywhere. You're like, did you not look at this before you invite my client in here? Why would you invite my client in when there's still so many obvious things?
Right.
You builder guy.
Right.
You do you first, then you bring us in when you can't seem to find anything else.
Yeah.
Don't see if my client's okay with flaws. That's not how we do business, right?
Right.
If you were to think and go into a listing appointment with the mindset of every flaw, it's called a mental flaw, is $1. So when people walk into a space, a few things, it has to feel good, not necessarily look good, feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It has to smell neutral or good. And then it has to look good. So feel good isn't just the temperature of the air conditioning. The feel good is the breath.
Mm.
Is it crowded? Can I see the baseboards? Does my mind scale the space and understand the room size? Or is the room just line up? Like the windows are covered with a trunk. Like, can I feel the space? Is it breathing? Does it have room for me in here? If it's cluttery visually, can you see wall between? Are there breaks in the vision of the space that you're standing in? So that's what I mean when I say, does it feel good? smell good. We can honestly say don't over fragrance, don't cook a curry meal, like just be cautious of your pets and whatever. If you're nose blind, have a friend come over who you can trust.
That's right.
Honest opinion, right? I know I
Yeah.
walk into my house, I don't smell anything. My daughter walks into my house and says, I just love how it smells when I'm home, right? Smell different when this isn't your environment. So just
Hey, I'm a dog lover. I don't own any dogs. But if you own a dog, I can typically smell it if I walk in.
Yeah. And I don't want to know you own any dog.
And I don't want to know that I don't want to know that you have a dog unless I see your dog.
Yeah. So feel good, smell good, pleasant, positive, and then look good. So do you have something that's flashy, that's really standing out, that is distracting from the space? Do you have a feature that is amazing, but it's hidden or it's not highlighted, right? So looking good doesn't have to be, do you have expensive furniture? Does it all match? Are you color coordinated? You know, did a designer come in here?
Yeah.
But look good is my eye free to roam? Am I attracted to what I need to be attracted to? And I don't want to say distracted from what I don't want to look at, but I'm not talking about flaws. Don't highlight something that's not a feature, right?
Yeah.
When I could be looking at this beautiful fireplace wall, but you've got this wonky thing over here. Well, now I'm not even paying attention to what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 criteria when I think of staging a home. It could be done with no money. Like, I don't want people to think staging your home requires millions of dollars out of pocket and designers to U-Haul stuff. Staging level 1 is those 3 criteria.
That's
right. We all can innately sense them. You don't have to have a skill or a craft or a degree. We can innately think of those things. So if we have our emotions, we have our body, we have our sensories around, we can stage a home pretty well.
One of the things that I do when I take a listing is I bring in my professional stager, and she goes a staging consultation, and she helps. And many times, you know, she's so good. She's like, she's not trying to sell you on staging. There's often times where she's like, you don't need any new furniture. You don't need for me to bring anything in, but you do need to remove that, put this over there, slide this over there. I would throw this over here. And you're right. Like, she just helps them reorganize the space to bring in the 3 things that you talked about. So I do love that.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think this first level of staging, then I do think there are options. One, bringing in someone if you're not comfortable, or maybe it's awkward, right? And you don't want to be the one to be like, your house is a mess. You know, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to bring in a professional.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. I mean, even for me, like when I had a team, like agents would bring me in. I'm just unbiased opinion. I'm just going to bring our team lead. She lists 100 houses a year. Like, she's just going to come in and give you professional. Then the relationship stays solid. So even if it's a partner that you have in your company that can kind of come in and soften it, if money is an issue, right? If you want to just kind of have that extra service, you tag team, help each other out. Then you can full blown staging, take everything out, bring everything in. I mean, there's all kinds of levels to that.
Yeah, of course.
I've tapped into those. I want to say fewer circumstances than really just using the skills that I have, but I understand not everybody has that. I love physical staging. We are in a big area where we have a lot of tract homes, you know, so it's a lot of the same floor plan over and over and over again. That's when I will really, especially if a lot of them are vacant.
Gotta make it stand out.
Right. I do try to be the floor plan that has the physical furniture in it. If I know we're up against.
Had a listing consultation this morning, and that was exactly it. They bought the home only 3 years ago. They're already going to need to sell it for less than what they bought it for, but there's barely any furniture in there because they're moving out and already begun the process of moving out and traveling between states. And I said, have you given some thought to staging it? I said, because it is a tract home, and there's going to be a lot of other homes with this floor plan in this community, others that might be listed for sale or come up for sale while we're on the market. And we want to make sure that we stand out so that when people look this house up online, they're like, oh, that's the one with the, remember the painting that's right there above the, right? Like something that is defining characteristic about this home. Because you can't just say, you know, the one with the master bedroom upstairs to the left. Like,
right.
There's 10 other ones like that.
And to kind of circle back, I will tell you right now, I have walked into beautiful homes that are great prices. And those 3 staging pillars really discredit the house.
I believe that. I want to go back to your goal, the 103 homes in 10 months. Because the beginning of a goal comes with excitement. the end comes with urgency,
Mhm.
but somewhere somewhere in the middle is where goals go to die. Was there a point when the adrenaline kind of disappeared and the challenge just simply became exhausting? Like, you know what? Good is good enough. What was your lowest moment?
Yeah. I mean, there were a few weeks in there when I did not get 2 to 3 listings signed. And I was like, oh my God, that compounds so fast.
Yeah.
It spirals.
Yeah.
It can spiral. So the math is really like what I clung to when I would get a little emotional. I'd be like, no, it's just math. That's 2 to 3 listings signed a week. How many appointments do I need to go on? Right? That's a whole nother.
The listing math.
I need to win them, not just go on them, but actually convert them, right? So we can look at the KPIs backwards, and as far as skill and expertise. And there were weeks, I'm telling you, it was like Saturday and I had not been on any listing appointments. And I was like, oh my God. Because you can't compound that very long.
Zero times zero is always going to be zero.
Now I need 3 to 4 listings signed.
Yeah.
5 to 6 listings signed a week. Now we're touching impossible.
Yeah.
Now we're very quickly. So it made me honestly really look at my business. And that's where I think a big shift happened from hope to strategy. You can't hope for listings.
Because hope is not a strategy.
Yeah, hope is not a strategy. So I would say, okay, well, my gosh, well, what am I doing all week? Like, what have I done all week? So I was like, okay, maybe I need to audit what I do every day. What am I doing? Am I doing things in my business that lead to conversations to even have a listing appointment? Or am I at Taco Tuesday with the other agents having margaritas? Or that always hurts people for some reason. They take that personally.
I don't know why. Yeah, but I hear you. I do love a good taco, so.
Only after you set your number of listing appointments, then you're allowed to go. Okay?
Reward yourself after you've hit the goal.
And it really made me say, oh my gosh, I need to not get lost in the things that we fear the most are where the business actually happens.
Yeah.
And if we're afraid of talking to people, if we're not confident in our script, we're not good in our research on a home, we don't have multiple listing presentations ready to go depending on the kind of client it is. If we don't have the fundamentals, and you're going to hear me keep coming back to this word fundamental, unfortunately, it should be very fortunate that this is where the conversation kind of comes back to regularly.
Yeah.
That is where the winning happens, because that's where conversations lead to appointments. Appointments lead to conversions lead to closings, signing and closing. So I said, okay, I love being on Canva, and we're talking years ago. We didn't have AI. Okay. So
no. Yeah. This was before that.
Kind of go back a few years, so right before COVID. So a lot of things were different and would tend to get lost. Social media and editing was like really, really popular back then. People were getting really into spending a lot of time on learning how to edit and those types of things. You can get lost in that stuff.
Yes.
But I had to always say, okay, I'm going to build my calendar to say the first things I do are in green on my calendar. These are my money making tasks. These are the conversations. These are the phone calls. These are the prospecting. These things will lead to listing opportunities first and foremost. Then, and only then, when those are completed, then I'm able to play in Canva, make a video. And those were really important because my goal every day was to set 2 to 3 listing appointments on Monday.
That way you were good for the rest of the week. That was setting your momentum through the week.
Because if I didn't do them Monday, I still had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I did, awesome. But what I didn't do, this is really crazy, and I think this is what prevented me from burning out realistically or overworking. When I was able to set those 2 to 3 listing appointments, or I say maybe 4, just in the beginning it was more, and then I got really, really good at winning. So like I got to know, I don't have to work as hard.
That's right. I don't have to take as many appointments to take as many listings.
Correct. I didn't have to do as many. And so when I did set those appointments by Wednesday, I can literally tell you I did not work on Tuesday and Thursday or Sunday. Maybe I called
Thursday, Friday, you mean?
Thursday. Yeah. Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
I spent time with my family. Maybe we went out to dinner without having to be on
So at this point, were you working only like a few hours a day at that point then? Like on average, would you say, how many hours a day were you averaging?
Yeah, I would say like through the challenge, I'm going to say like that was a 5:30 get up or get to the office by 7:30, start making my calls by 8:30. Like I was a grinder. I was a hustler.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say I hustled until I got 2 to 3, 4 listing appointments. Then I backed down.
But that's what I mean. So what did it average out to? I mean, weren't you doing open houses? Were you open housing?
Oh, yeah. Like you had to do all the other things. But I'm saying when it came to the intensity of trying to get those listing appointments.
The appointments. Okay.
Yeah. I could take a break and take a day to batch edit, batch film and, go to Taco Tuesday and like be a human, right? Have a life. But it was contingent upon me setting those appointments.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you now teach what has become known as the 100 listing mindset. And we're talking a lot about what that mindset is now. Is it believing that you can take 100 listings, or is it a completely different relationship with rejection, accountability, time, and execution?
Yeah, I would say the latter. I mean, I think it's the getting your foundation squared away, knowing your script. I mean, you can't tell me that you talk to 3 expired people and you don't like it because it doesn't work. Like, tell me you talk to 10,000 of them and that doesn't work.
Where are you having all these conversations?
I had so many lead sources. I tried them all.
All of them.
All. Because honestly, I mean, I was already by that point.
You needed the volume.
Yeah. I mean, I was 8 years in the business. I mean, I was doing a lot of business.
Okay.
But a lot of it was by that point, a lot of referrals. You know what I mean? That first 5-year struggle, I was over that hump and now I was like in a rhythm, but I wasn't scaling, like I was just in the rhythm.
Yeah. You were busy.
I was busy and doing the things. I actually looked at all of the lead pillars because here's like some of the mental thoughts that I had. I need listings today, but I also need listings in 10 months.
Yeah.
Some people listing in 10 months don't even know that they're going to be selling their houses in 10 months.
That's very true.
Okay. So when you actually look at the lead gen pillars, open houses, expireds, farming, geofarming, events, like all the things, right? They all live in their own lane and they all have a different timeline to them. So geofarming, for example, you're not going to catch people ready to sell tomorrow. Like, oh my gosh, I got your first postcard. Come list my house. Like, probably not going to happen. But that shouldn't be what you're going for. What you're going for is building that relationship over a long time. So when they're ready to sell, with enough value so that when they're ready to sell, friends are ready to sell, they recommend you and use you. 10 months.
Which means that you have to have a follow-up system as well.
That means you have to have a starting system. You got to start.
Yeah.
So you can have the follow-up.
Yeah.
And then you have expires. Like they were a seller yesterday. How can I make them continue to be a seller today? All those selling appointments you've ever gone into in your entire career that just never turned into a listing. Do you have all that contact information? Can you look up those addresses? Do those people still own those homes? Did you sit at kitchen tables that still have the same table in them today? Is there an opportunity? Have you been nurturing them for the last 6 years since you talked to them at the kitchen table and they still own their home?
I'm literally in the space of reactivating my database now. I have not done the best job of that. Most agents don't. And I had a conversation just yesterday with a client that we lost touch. And they ended up selling their house just a couple of years ago. I sold the house that allowed them to get into the house that they were in, and they ended up selling their house. And he's like, man, our equity went up 80% since we bought it. I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, we bought it for $1 million and we sold it for 1.8. I'm like, oh, congratulations.
I'll tell you, some of those were gut punchy. You were like the money that you just watched. You watched yourself give to other agents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how this whole 10-month thing evolved. I'm like, okay, if I can just line out all the pillars and what I need to do for each of these pillars through the next 10 months so that my funnel kept falling.
Yeah.
I just needed things to keep falling. And what did those nurture systems look like? I mean, we don't have these things built in our businesses.
No. Some people don't really know how to teach it, maybe because they didn't do it. And so you don't hear it a lot. Let's make this practical for the agent who's watching or listening and wants more listing.
I would say if you don't know, what are you doing now that's getting you the listings? Don't reinvent the wheel.
Let's say they're not getting many listings. Most agents work with buyers anyway. How should agents work their database without sounding desperate or transactional?
Yeah. One is your buyers are going to move. Here's the fun thing. You can adopt other agents' clients because we're only in contract for a certain amount of time. Once those contracts are done and those houses are closed, game on.
That's true.
Okay. I'm just going to put that up. So for example, something really easy to do is start adopting the buyers that are coming into your neighborhood. I created that. I made that up. It's called Adopt a Buyer program. Most agents, when they get someone into a home, they disappear. You have an opportunity to say, welcome to our neighborhood. Congratulations, you now own a home. I would love to be a resource for you. Not only do I sell homes and help people come into this community, but I'm also familiar with where to get your hair cut, where to sign your kids up for Little League, the best landscaper. Let me be a resource, a community resource for you in your new environment.
That's gold.
I actually created for that purpose, for that pillar, because I was aiming to try to be the person, is I created what I call my community passport. It's small, looks like a passport, and in it is a guide to our neighborhood, where all the coffee shops, all local stuff, where to eat, stylists, salons, tattoo parlors, cold drinks, warm drinks, entertainment. And there's a map on the inside, and they can flip through and see all the cool places. Like, they don't know, they're new to the community, and now they have this little guide. And every time they open it, because they're going to keep it, because it's valuable, they're going to think of me, see my brand, see my brand. So how can you get in the space of the future sellers? You may not be equipped and have the skills to grab them today, but how can you start getting into the space of the ones that are yet to come?
That's really good. All right. So let's say tomorrow morning, you wake up in a market where no one knows your name. You have no database, no team, no brand, because I know you got a big brand, no referrals, no coaching platform, but you still have your knowledge. You got your work ethic. And so you have your experience.
Yeah.
Your goal is to take your first listing within 30 days.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I would find every single house on the market and start running open houses.
I love it.
Reason being, there's a lot of branding you can do and getting your face advertising for an open house. Because it's not actually the open house. It's the event that you're creating around the open house. And that's going to give you a one-to-many approach. If you're always trying one-to-one, our time is really valuable. So I would be getting myself in spaces where I can be in front of a lot of people in the same given time than just one person.
Now, the listener is saying, well, but Sandee, he said listings, not buyer. I'm trying to get my first listing, and you're telling me to do open houses. Why in the world would I do open houses to get a listing? How does that work?
Yeah, because I'm going to do an open house like they've never seen before, so that the community says, who is that person? And when I sell my house, I want them to do that because I've never seen anybody do that before. So they will come. You are creating an event. They are going to come meet you just because they've never seen anything like it. They've never seen marketing like it. You've struck their curiosity so bad that they want to come and actually experience what it is that you're creating in that neighborhood.
Listen, you did it with 103 listings in just 10 months, and you had to become someone else, a better version, a higher version of yourself in order to be that. But you learned so much about yourself and people and your own work ethic and systems and so much. So I applaud you. Obviously, sure, you're proud of yourself, but I'm sure your husband is also proud of the work that you put in. And we end every episode by giving the audience something that they can act on immediately. So for the agent watching or listening who knows that they've been playing too small, what is one action they need to take within the next 24 hours?
Yeah, I would say make your list of your 100 next sellers because you already have them. These are not new people. They're in your database, they're in your phone, they're your friends, they're in your neighborhood. Go find the next 100 people that you know are like right there, ready to sell within the next year, and love the heck out of them. Don't worry about anybody else. Find your 100 and love on them like your listing counts it, like it matters.
Sandee, this has been an incredible conversation. Like I said, taking more than 100 listings is already impressive. That's an impressive accomplishment. But what really stands out is the transformation behind the number. You committed before you knew exactly how you were going to finish. You allowed accountability to sharpen you. And then you built the habits, the systems, support, and capacity to carry the goal. And then you use what you learned to start helping other agents stop watching from the sidelines and start betting on themselves.
Yeah. It's too good not to share. It's not fair.
It's too good not to share.
Yeah.
So thank you for being honest about the success, the pressure, the sacrifices, and the lessons. Where can people connect with you and learn more about what you're currently building?
Instagram is the fastest one. I do everything there. It's just start typing my name, Sandee Payne, and I will be the first one that pops up.
Sandee Payne. All right. We're going to include Sandee's information in all the show notes. And to everybody who's watching or listening, do not let the size of your goal intimidate you into never even starting. Break it down, build the habits, create accountability, and don't be afraid to ask for help and become the person capable of carrying the result. And be sure to subscribe to the Leverage Lounge and share this episode with somebody who needs a bigger vision and join us for the next conversation. Until next time, keep building with intention and keep looking for ways to create more leverage in your life. Take care. We'll see you soon.